Okay, I would like to throw out on the table that I'm still in witch mode. It's very much Halloween. I'm talking about witches.
That's
I
fine.
will
I think
be
it's very
doing
apt.
the same.
Nate, also talking about witches.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You guys are on a wacky witch ride.
I propose that we combine our segments into one power segment called "The Witch, oh the Witch, oh the Witch is back. Stone cold sober is a matter of fact." You know?
Yeah. As long as you sing it.
Okay. I did. That was it. Get that. Grab that soundbite. I don't want to do it again.
I got it. You're good.
Okay. Can I go first? Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to tell you guys about Scotland's most famous witch.
Let me guess.
Go ahead. Start guessing.
I guess just Morgan. Is it a Morgan?
No.
Okay, then I
Queen
guessed.
Mab.
Ooh.
Or I guess Queen Mab is Irish, isn't she?
I think so.
Then we're both wrong. Hit us with
You're
the
both
truth.
wrong.
Yeah, she is.
I'm going to hit you with a little bit of that truth. We're talking today about Isobel Gowdie.
Oh shit.
Isobel Gowdie. Now, also, I will tell you that this week on Fight Island, the other podcast, my side cast, yeah, guys, you'll always be my number one. Hit me up, Fight Island. We fought witches this week. And actually Isobel Gowdie appears in the lightweight round. Sure. So it got me reading about her, and I gotta hit you guys with this stuff. Isobel Gowdie was a Scottish woman who confessed to witchcraft at Aldearn near Nairn during 1662. Scant information is available about her age and life, and although she was probably executed in line with usual practice, it is uncertain whether this was the case or if she was allowed to return to the obscurity of her former life as a cotter's wife. You guys know what a cotter is?
I don't. Was this like a Salem type confession, or was this like I'm a witch and I'll curse y'all?
No, Cotter's a teacher.
A cotter is just like a peasant.
Yeah.
Because they live in cottages. Her detailed testimony, apparently achieved without the use of violent torture, provides one of the most comprehensive insights into European witchcraft folklore at the end of the era of witch hunts. So, she confessed to 4 confessions, which
she was all about that witch life.
She was about that witch life. She had it spelled out on her knuckles. Sweet tats. It rolled.
with Y's everywhere. W-Y.
So many Y's.
T-C-H. Because
there's no Y in craft, Isobel. She found one. She's a witch after all. The 4 confessions she made over a period of 6 weeks include details of charms and rhymes, claims she was a member of a coven in the service of the devil, and that she met with the fairy queen and king. Lurid information concerning carnal dealings with the devil were also provided.
Whoa.
She was like, I blew the devil.
I was about to say put the kids to bed, Pingos, but you know what? They learned. Now they had to learn somewhere.
Hey.
A combination of demonic and fairy beliefs, the narratives were used by Margaret Murray as the basis for her mostly now discredited theories about cults and witchcraft. Okay.
Mostly.
Let's get you a little bit of background here. Just a touch here. The early modern period saw the Scottish courts trying many cases of witchcraft, and witch hunts began in about 1550. The Parliament of Mary, Queen of Scots. You guys know who Mary, Queen of Scots was?
We do.
She was
Scotland's greatest leader.
A somewhat brutal leader in Scotland. I believe she was beheaded with thread tucked underneath her arm. She roams the bloody halls, right? Isn't that her?
Yeah. She had some problems with Elizabeth II, I believe.
Yeah. I do too. The original was better. Uh, they brought in what was with the orangutan in the sequel. Anyway.
It was a real
Any which way
bedtime for
but
Bonzo
Liz.
situation.
Making convictions for witchcraft subject to capital punishment. Mary's son James wrote Demonology, a favorite book. You guys know about the Demonology book, 1597. Yep. This was really
I have it
kind of at the
right here.
Look, right there, from his cursed shelf of books. Right there between tentacle porn and tentacle porn. Okay, this is about the personal life. This is about the personal life of Isobel Gowdie. Records provide no information on Gowdie before her marriage to John Gilbert, who had no involvement in the witchcraft case. Wilby speculates that she would have been brought up in the Alderan region, as she alluded to locations in the area. Likewise, no detail is available concerning her age. At the time of trial in 1662, she may have been aged anywhere from 15, although this is unlikely, as she claimed to have participated in sexual activities 15 years before her confession, to well into her 30s or 50s. But she was certainly of childbearing age, despite there being no records of her having any children. Gowdie and her husband lived in the area around Loch Loy, about 2 miles north of Alderan. Her daily life was spent in basic household chores and tasks such as milking, making bread, weaving yarn, and weeding. The confessions. Gowdie made 4 confessions over a period of 6 weeks. The first is dated 13th April 1662 at Alderan. It is uncertain why she came forward. The historian John Callow, who authored her Oxford Dictionary of National Biography article, suggests it was because of her involvement in a conspiracy to torment the local minister, Harry Forbes, a zealous extremist who had a fear of witchcraft. Forbes was a witness at each of Gowdie's 4 interrogations. Accusations against Gowdie would have circulated for a lengthy period before she confessed. She would have been detained in solitary confinement, most probably in the toll booth at Aldern. Anyway, her first confession described an encounter with the devil after she arranged to meet him in the kirk.
I don't know what a kirk is.
A church.
Okay.
At Aldern at night, naming several others.
Sent up a witch flare that said, "You up?"
Yeah. Meet me at the church. Meet me at the kirk. Naming several others who attended, including Janet Breadhead and Margaret Brody. How come you don't see any
breadhead?
How come you don't see any breadheads in the phone book anymore?
Well, I think it became an insult.
Sure. For a person whose head's made of bread. She said she renounced her baptism and the devil put his mark on her shoulder, then sucked blood from it. Other meetings took place at several locations. For instance, Nairn and Isock. She touched on having sexual intercourse with the devil, who she described as very cold. He had forked and cloven feet that were sometimes covered with shoes or boots. Details were given of taking a child's body from a grave and spoiling crops, together with information about covens and where they danced. She explained that brooms were laid beside her husband in his bed so he would not notice she was absent. The coven...
First of all...
Come on, man.
My lady does that with a pillow, just like tricks me, and like I don't even know she leaves the bed.
Why? When she sneaks off to her midnight fight club?
I don't know what she does, but it's really comfortable and I enjoy it.
Sure. Okay. Brooms is a different situation altogether, though. If your husband, okay, if the person you share a bed with can't tell you from a broom, there are 2 problems going on. One, you need to think about personal hygiene. 2,
yeah,
you need to ask your partner to sometimes touch your body so they know what human skin feels like.
I mean, there is a way to sort of get away with it. If you can do some sort of like I Love Lucy-esque crazy machination wherein you trick your significant other into believing that they're having an affair with a broom.
This
So like, you know,
okay.
Like
he just thinks he's once again in bed with Broomington Breadhead. And
Yep.
Oh
Who
yes,
he-
Bloomington Breadhead, the most beautiful lass in all the land, with her hair like a broom and her face like bread.
yeah, hair like beautiful golden straw.
Sure, that is a
body's
thing, right? They would
Skinny
always
as
say
a
that.
poplar.
Truth. Wow.
Yeah, the broom figure was pretty popular back in the day.
What was her name?
I think there was a
Breadhead?
lot of broom fucking in Scotland.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's find out.
Google
Brooms were
challenge
beside
of
her
the week.
husband's bed, so he wouldn't notice she was absent. The coven ate and drank the best of food at the houses they reached by flying through the air on magical horses and entered via the windows. They were entertained by the Queen of the Fairies, also known as the Queen of Elfame, in her home at Downey Hill, which was filled with water bulls that frightened her. Water bull is a Scottish Gaelic mythological creature similar to the Manx Taru Ushte. It's kind of, you know what a water horse is?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
yeah.
like a water mare.
Yeah, same but a bull. But it seems to be nicer than the water horse. Anyway, she was scared of them. Gowdie claimed
She was scared of this nice spirit.
This is a
Well, maybe
this
they were like too nice, where you just can't trust it.
sure.
Ah.
What do you
Well,
what
this
do you
is
got
like
going on in the background?
this does very much feel like a ladies' day about town. Like, and then I went to my friend's house and he had a water bowl and I didn't like it very much. I like some water bowls. I'm not a water bowl person, but Gowdie claimed to have made clay effigies of the Laird of Park's male children to cause them suffering and death.
Yeah.
And that she assumed the form of a jackdaw, and with other members of the coven who had transformed into animals like cats and hares, visited the house of Alexander Cummings. Such a thing. Some parts of her testimony, like her
Could you
description-
imagine just being Alex Cummings and just having a bunch of hairs just on your windowsill?
Well, I think Alexander Cummings probably also has a tale of like being bewitched by strange animals or something. But that's maybe,
Oh, you're thinking of Alan Cummings.
Alan Cummings, yeah. Nightcrawler. Has been cut
The
short. Wait,
Bewitched.
some parts of her testimony has been cut shorts. A little over 2 weeks later, on 3rd of May 1662, Gowdie's second confession was transcribed. She expanded on details about the coven by providing the nicknames of its members and as many of the spirits that waited on them as she could remember. Her own servant spirit, dressed in black, was called the Reed Reaver. The Reed Reaver.
What a fun name for a spirit butler.
Red Reaver? It might be Red Reaver. That makes more sense. But it's spelled like you just read a book or to read a book, R-E-I-V-E-R. Strange. Claims including having the ability to transform into animals with the individual chance used to turn into a cat, horse, or various other animals supplied. Over the duration of all her confessions, a total of 27 benevolent or malevolent charms were given, more than any other British witchcraft case. 3 were transcribed twice, but with significant differences. Here,
do you want that chant for turning into a beast right now?
You have it?
Yes, hit us with it.
I have it in front of me, and I have another one from Isobel Gowdie as well.
Nice.
This is the song for going forth as beasts. As I shall go into a hare with sorrow and sighing and meckle care, and I shall go into the devil's name until I come home again. And I shall go into a crow with sorrow and sighing and blackest throw, and I shall go into the devil's name until I come home again.
Can we get a
And I
beat
shall
under
go
this?
into a cat with sorrow and sighing and a black shot, and I shall go in the devil's name until I come home again.
Nice.
And I shall go into a goat with blackest hooves and blackest coat, and I shall go in the devil's name until I come home again.
Good beatboxing, Roger.
Yeah, I'm trying real hard.
That was dope. Thank you, Nate. Did you turn into hair?
No, I didn't finish it. You're supposed to at the end add your own verse to
I
become the
see.
thing that you want to.
That's
Yeah.
the to stick the landing. It also says to change back.
Yeah.
She
Well,
would
also,
say.
nothing rhymes with successful comedian.
Oh, you tell me about it. It says to change back, she would say, "Hair, hair, God send thee care. I am in a hare's likeness now, but I shall be a woman's likeness even now." And then she turned back into a lady if she was a hare, or whatever she was.
Which is frightening to have an animal scream.
Yeah. Yeah. The witches were not always accurate. Oh, wait. Sorry, this is another one. Gowdie testified that the devil handmade elf arrows that were then enhanced by small, roughly spoken elf boys.
What?
The devil allocated a number.
It's called elf shot.
The devil allocated a number of arrows to each coven member with instructions that they were to find in his name, that they were to be fired in his name. No bows were supplied, so the arrows were flicked by thumb. The witches were not always accurate when they fired the arrows, but if the intended target, whether it was a woman, man, or animal, was touched by the implement, she claimed they would die even if wearing a protective armor. Spells used to inflict illness and torment on Harry Forbes, the minister, were also described. The third confession. The transcript begins by detailing her pact with the devil after she encountered him and agreed to meet him at Aldrin Kirk. Taking the information she provided previously about the elf arrows a step further, she revealed the names of those killed, expressing regret for the deaths she caused, and supplied the names of other coven members with details of who they had murdered too. She gave an account of the devil sending her on an errand to Aldern disguised as a hare. Her narrative went on to describe how while in that form, she was chased by a pack of dogs. She escaped from them by running from house to house until eventually she had the opportunity to utter the chant to transform herself back into a human. She added that sometimes the dogs would be able to bite a witch when she took the form of a hare. Although the dogs could not kill the shapeshifter, the bite marks and scars would still be evident once the human form was reinstated.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have like a little bite mark on you? Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Descriptions of dining with the devil and his beating of coven members and their responses to it are recounted. Salacious details concerning sexual relations with the devil, together with the broad characteristics of his genitalia, are chronicled.
Yes.
Oh, they talked about devil cock a lot.
Continuing on from the tale in her first testimony about the methods undertaken to kill any male children of the laird of the park, the verse the devil had taught them while chanting while burning the effigies was relayed. The fourth and final confession, dated May 27th, 1662, is according to historian Robert Pitcairn, basically to confirm the three previous testimonies, coupled with an attempt to elicit more information about the members of the coven to enable charges brought against them. Aftermath. She was tried.
Okay.
She was tried a couple of times.
Yep.
Gowdie's second testimony has a note on the back dated 10th July, 1662, indicating the document had been appraised and the Justice Department found it germane. A further instruction was added to take care of this paper. On the same document of Justice Depute, this is all very boring. His relative, the Laird of Lethen, was at Gowdie's interrogations, but like it says, there's not much evidence as to whether she was executed. It says there's no record of her being executed, although it's not like super unusual because like they were killing witches, so like they don't really know if the records ever existed. But Pitcairn, oh wait. Prior to 1768, most Scottish witches tried under a Privy Council commission were convicted and executed. Pitcairn shared the opinion that Gowdie and Bredhead were executed. And most modern day academics like historian Brian P. Levack agree it would be be the likely outcome. The possibility of the pair that the pair may have been acquitted on the basis of mental impairment has been put forward by some historians. Callow suggests they may have been freed under the clauses attached to the commission and then been permitted to return to quiet obscurity. So there's a chance that, she moved with her husband somewhere to live a quiet witchy life, or maybe she and Breadhead got together and they kind of Thelma and Louise did out in the bush, hanging with
That's
the
what
devil.
I'm going for.
Hanging with the devil. And that's the long and short on Isobel Gowdie in a section that I am calling "Oh the Witch, oh the Witch, oh the Witch is mad," Part 1.
I like that. I never heard of that witch tale before.
Right? Isobel Gowdie. She was a greasy witch for sure. She was.
Oh, she was a greasy witch.
Greasing up that shaft, right?
I gotta
right, the devil.
Just gotta grease up that Broomington breadhead and
Broomington breadhead. She's a looker, except for her breadhead.
Just for fun, here is an old ballad sourced to Isobel Gowdie, a song of flight to the Sabbath. Ooh. So this, if you don't know about witch flight and getting greasy, listen to last week's episode.
Yeah.
And you can use this to fly as well. I call a gray horse, I call a gray mare, gray mane, gray tail, gray striped on her back, and not a hair on her that isn't coal black. Come king, come queen, come company more, all riding behind and walking before. Come stark naked drummer a-beating your drum, by stang and by beast, come a-marching along. Horse and haddock, horse and go, horse and pilatus, ho, ho!
Imagine her
take off.
Imagine her singing this in like a town square with people gathered around her, like, oh my God, just killing it.
Could you imagine her just going to the general store and exiting with a bag of rice and then singing that to get back home?
It almost feels like it's like Disney style, like it's like a singing witch, except there more blood and beheadings. But
no, that's what Disney was.
Well, that's a jam. The horse flight song.
It's a certified banger.
Fucking slaps.
And then just as a minor addendum, if you want to protect against those elf shots, the little arrows that they were flicking, here is the chant that will protect you from the kind of attack from the spirit world that could be performed by fairies or by witches during spirit flight.
Oh, marvelous.
This one doesn't really rhyme, or it does rhyme and it just rhymes the same thing over and over. I charge thee against arrow shot, against door shot, against womb shot, against eye shot, against tongue shot, against liver shot, against lung shot, against heart shot, all the most.
Sorry, womb shot?
Womb shot, yes.
Is that the ping pong
in Our Lady's
thing?
name, I pray it. Yeah. Pow! Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one way. If you didn't want to flick it and you were, feeling frisky because you're hanging with the devil,
can't teach it.
You could ping pong that shit. Like, have you ever seen the movie Fudo?
No.
The Takashi Miike? There's a lady in that who's an assassin who uses a poison pussy dart.
Whoa, sweet. That rules. Okay, well, you think you have a good idea first, and it turns out you're an unoriginal son of a bitch. Anyway, carry on.